Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beeler coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Zatima Season 3, Episode 17, Forgiveness. Y'all, this episode really didn't go the way I thought that it was going to go based on how it ended. But nevertheless, everything, it was pretty decent for what it was. It was a lot of retribution going on, a lot of forgiveness. It was a lot of heartfelt moments, which I thought that was really good, except for that ending. And we will get there as we flow through this overview of Tyler Perry's um, Zatima. So please, 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 I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers for the year of 2025. It's not a big goal. It's a reachable goal. Please, so subscribe to the channel. If you have already subscribed, thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you are new here, welcome, and I love you too. I do. I sure do. Anyway, so yes, please don't hesitate to like, comment, because I do like talking to y'all. Comment, talk to me, let me know what y'all thinking about this episode. You know what I'm saying? I love the feedback. I love it. I love it. I love it. And hit that like button. Hit that like button. You know I like to do the little thing. Cause the more you do like, the more I do go through the algorithm, and more people start to view my commentary. Why sometimes it work and sometimes it don't? I just be feeling like a fool. I'm up here really trying to do it, and it. See, you know what? This computer act like one of them kids. You know how like your kid could be flipping, 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 and as soon as the visitors come over, like your family and friends, and you tell your kid, "Do that kick that you did? Do that kick that you did?" And then they can't do it. They don't want to do it. Now you've been flipping and kicking and jumping the whole time you've been here, and now all of a sudden you don't want to do it. Maybe I gotta hold it. There we go. Was that bad? Was it that bad? Anyway, yes, but I love you. I love you. I love you. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this episode of Tyler Perry's Zatima. So it does pick up where it left off, right? And like I said, I thought it would end. I thought that this scene would be different, but yeah, pleasantly surprised. Nobody really got mad because Leslie here, she was spilling all the tea. Like she was spilling all the tea. And she was talking about the reason why her hair is the way that it is because Malachi wanted her to be like that. The reason why he even wanted to, you know, getting it in, have a get it in session in their kitchen is because Malachi wanted to be wanted to feel like that was he was, I guess, sleeping with Fatima. And she also said that Malachi was actually going through the entire house, looking at pictures and old photos. You know, pictures and photos is the same thing, but just looking and rummaging, looking at things, reminiscing. And she said he also was looking at Zach Slick. I said, Malachi, what you got going on? You looking at Zach too? Are you trying to compare yourself to him? Maybe that's what he was doing. But she was just running her mouth, talking about the photo. Now, when you with him last week, whoop, whoop, whoop. Until Fatima was like, enough. You know what I'm saying? Fatima done had enough. But Leslie, like, she's still like, where is the wine? And she looking over there at Zach, talking about, come on, Zach, what you gonna do about it? Ain't you a hood nigga? Is Zach like me, a hood nigga? What? I said, girl, Zach ain't finna be fighting your battles. I mean, he just trying to figure out what's going on. First of all, he don't even know y'all. So he just trying to figure it out how he trying to figure it out. And so talking about the picture and all that stuff, Malachi talking about he photoshopped the picture and sent it over there to her. I'm like, why would you do that? You trying to really make her jealous. And then she's talking about how they go to therapy and the only thing that he can talk about is Fatima and all this other stuff. You know, she just going on and on and on. And she's drunk. They get up and they leave. Malachi talking about he's sorry or whatever. She's still trying to get Zach to look at pictures. But you know what? She gets up and she walks out. She does the drunk walk outside the door. Malachi, he apologizes. Then he goes to go ahead and he leaves. So, let me fix this. So, after they leave, Zach is just like, so what? Like, you gonna pretty much like, what was that? he says he upset. Well, Fatima says that she's upset, but she's not upset like that. And Zach said he's upset not because of what they had going on, because he really wasn't tripping about that photo and all that other stuff, because he, in his mind, he was like, that's probably some old stuff. And Fatima confirmed that it was old. And I guess my thing with this whole photo thing, because he said he photoshopped it, and Fatima said that there was an old photo. So that actually was Fatima in that photo. Maybe he photoshopped an old picture that she had, and for whatever reason he sent it to her to make her jealous. I have no idea why. But Zach's whole thing is, he's upset because you letting people in the house. Don't let nobody in this house that I don't even know about. Number one. And number two, you should have told me about old boy. And she just like, why should I have told you about him? Should I tell you about every man that has left me, that I have loved and left me at the altar? He was like, every man? Like, now you over there talking about Angela, so you got a roster too? Okay, Fatima, it is what it is. We all got to pass, right? But anyway, he was like, well, I feel like in this case, Fatima, you could have gave him a heads up, even though you knew that, even though you thought that he was gonna be in jail and all that stuff. I mean, he was kind of caught off guard, so I think that does deserve an apology on your end in regards to him. And he was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I'm not gonna leave you. I'm here. And then she says, like, well, you did leave me. Like, you abandoned me. He was like, well, you left me in jail. I didn't abandon you. And her whole thing is, you should have thought about the actions. You should have thought about the things that you did, you know what I'm saying, before you did them. She said it'll be different if you was just like a old, nigga on the street, and you just got caught up in some stuff and you got, busted by the police for doing whatever you were doing. But no, you had a choice and you chose to do whatever you needed to do with your brother. And pretty much she felt like you abandoned her. He was like, abandoned? I was like, Fatima, that's a strong word, abandoned, because I was just thinking, slick, he didn't abandon you because when you found out he did that, Jeremiah was not unalive, then you could have just went ahead and got him out. But no, you chose to leave him there. So who was abandoning who? But her whole deal is she just trying to teach him a lesson. And he was like, you know what, lesson learned. So she gets up, and they pretty much say their apologies or whatever, whatever, whatever. She gets up, she says she finna go to bed, and Zach gonna have to clean it up. Zach talking about he finna get ready to go, but not after you clean up whatever you got to clean up. He was like, I got to clean up after this nasty food and nobody eating, and those are your people. Why I gotta clean up after your people? Anyway, Zach, he said he finna go. All right, so Zach ends up over to Tony's barbershop. Mind you, Tony is locking all the locks, right? And because apparently, excuse me, hold on, y'all. Ooh, got a little throat. Excuse me. Yeah, like my little Stanley, my husband bought this for me for Christmas. I said, oh, that's so cute. Anyway, so excuse me. So anyway, there have been a stream of burglars going around in that area, and Zach Coast, the whole thing is, so are you packing, like, are you gonna be good if somebody tried? He was just like, yeah, man, it's, it was cool, whatever, whatever. But they ended up having to sit down. They ended up talking about, Jeremiah, because the thing that's going on, the saying is, Zach, you need to go talk to your brother because you don't want him to press charges. Because Fatima told him too. You need to go see your brother, talk to your brother because you don't want to press charges. Tony is saying the same thing. You need to go see your brother, talk to your brother because you don't want him to press charges. And Zach is like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to see none of that or whatever. And Tony said, I need you to look at this video. Zach really don't want to look at the video, but then he looked at the video, and and Tony was just telling him it looked like you was taking this bead out on everybody that has ever did you wrong. Like, you was going in on that boy or whatever, and you just blacked out. And Tony was telling him it's like you have two people living inside of you. Like, you have one Zach that's level headed trying to do what he need to do, and then you have this other Zach that'll just unalive people. But I was like, Zach, have you unalived people before? Those are strong words. I could see if he could have said, you got that punks jump up to get beat down, so to speak. Not that unalive somebody. I was like, oh, Zach. Anyway, so he was just pretty much, Zach was saying, well, yeah, you sounding like Fatima right now about having choices and doing what they need to do when actually going to see the brother Jeremiah and all that stuff. So they really kind of had like a moment to let Zach realize that you do have choices and you don't have to follow that bad choice or whatever. And so Zach, he understood. They end up dapping each other up and he ended up leaving. He See, now when I ain't even trying, you want to do stuff. Bye. So he ended up leaving, but I noticed that Zach didn't lock the doors back. I said, now Zach, now you seen that this man said that the rock rip. So every time I do like this, I ain't even doing. I think they watching me. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I don't have no privacy. Okay. So Zach had already told, excuse me, Nathan, Tony already told Zach that there were a string of robberies going on in the neighborhood, and you know the door didn't get locked back. And I'm like, Nathan, excuse me, I call his boy Nathan. Tony, go lock your doors, but he didn't lock the doors, so it is what it is. All right, so this is the episode that really changed the trajectory of this show. This episode, this whole scene right here. I thought this was a really good scene. I thought that everybody acted really really well. Like I always say, I like Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah is hilarious. He's witty and he plays his role very very well, So Zach does go to see Jeremiah, and Jeremiah whole thing was, hey, he said he apologized, and he said that he shouldn't have came at Fatima or whatever. And Zach was like, yeah, you shouldn't have. Like, you shouldn't have did that. And Jeremiah was saying he was wrong and all that stuff. And Zach whole thing was like, he said he was sorry, and Jeremiah was like, yeah, you sorry, you kicked like you kicked my tail, like you really kicked my tail. And I guess they fight all the time because they're brothers, and maybe that's a thing that brothers do. When you made me mad, you started it, I'm gonna end it type situation. I'm not for sure, but Zach whole deal is, Jeremiah, you cannot touch my wife. Like, it doesn't matter. I understand you on this, you got your problem. Like Jeremiah say, I got a problem. I understand you have a problem, but you can't use that as an excuse. You can't. Jeremiah tried to come up with, well, I was just trying to, she failed or whatever. It doesn't matter. Don't do it. And then Jeremiah says, like, my mama did. Like, my mama gone, man. Like, I pretty much ain't got nobody. And Zach whole thing is like, yeah, I understand that they talk about the funeral, like when it's the funeral and all this stuff. And it gets really deep because Jeremiah ends up telling him, like, you my baby brother. And he told him, like, jealousy is a thing, and Zach is like, what, I got to be like, why are you jealous of me, why, or whatever. And he was saying, like, because you got all the girls, you rich, you got all this money, you could do whatever you want to do, but but look at him, you know what I'm saying, he don't want to be like this. He was like, look, I don't want to be on these drugs. I want to get off. Can you help me get out? And at first Zach was like, so you want me to help you get out? He was like, yeah. He said, so I can do that. I can help you get off, but you gotta pretty much stay off. And Jeremiah was like, he don't like living like this. Like, look at my eye. Look at that eye. He didn't say that part, but I'm just like, look at that eye. How did I feel? But he was just saying, like, I'm on this stuff. He ain't talked to his kids. His kids don't respect him. And he was saying all of that stuff. Like, I don't want to be like this. Like, I ain't got my mama. Like, it's bad right now. He said, that's how his mama died, smoking that stuff. And he said, I don't want to die smoking that stuff. But then he kind of does say, like, he does, there is a part in the conversation where Zach was saying, like, I'm sorry that I beat you up like that. And then Jeremiah was like, I kind of wish you wouldn't have stopped. He said, sometimes I just feel like I don't want to be here no more. Because he said, I kind of wish you wouldn't stop. And that's when Zach was like, I could have, killed you. He was like, well, he pretty much ain't got nothing to live for. Like his kids and all that stuff. Like, ain't nobody really respecting him. He don't get to see his family and all that stuff. But Zach was like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe when you get off, then your kids will come back around. Maybe, maybe you can build a relationship again. But then they really do get sentimental, and they have like the heart to heart. They get to crying, talking about, you my little brother, pretty much. CMB, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Jack City. And they hug it out, they crying, they hug it out. And he was just like, tell me about mama's funeral. And he was like, I'm gonna let you know. I'll give you all the details. Zach kisses him on his forehead. I just thought the brotherly love in this scene was very dynamic. It shows that they really can forgive each other. It shows that underneath all of that anger and animosity and jealousy and resentment, and Zach feeling abandoned and alone when he was a kid, not having protection, it still goes to show that at the end of the day, you are my brother and I still love you. Even though I might have to bop, bop, bop you a couple times, but I still love you at the end of the day. And Jeremiah really understood Zach. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It almost feel like Zach whooped him to want to get sober. that's that's what I kind of got out of it. I was like, shoot, you should have kicked his tail earlier. Maybe he would have got sober a little bit earlier. But anyway, nevertheless, I'm just happy that they have made amends, and I hope that this is a beginning to a fresh start with them, a beginning to a new connection, a beginning to new love, and all of that stuff. Because right now they don't the family they got right now. So yeah, that was a really pretty good scene. All right, so Fatima in the bed, Zach gets home, and she want to spoon up under her or whatever, and she ain't getting up. You know what I'm saying? She ain't moving, but he does tell her, like, I appreciate you, I love you, and he just giving her all these positive affirmations, right? And so then he kind of scoots over. Then she wakes up, and she just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. They talk about Jeremiah, going to see Jeremiah, and he told them that they talked, they came to an understanding and all of that stuff. And yeah, he gave them a rundown about Jeremiah, and then they also, after they talked about um everything that they had going on, they did talk about the photo again. And come to find out, like I said earlier, there was a picture of Fatima, and but it was an old picture, and Fatima was just looking at him like, why didn't you get upset? Like, why didn't you get upset? He was like, why? He said, I know you. He said, anytime when we break up or whatever, or we whatever they have going on, like, she doesn't just hop up and go to another man. But I was like, hold on now, wait. I ain't saying she just hop up and go to another man, but she was canoodling a lot with that construction worker. Remember that? She was doing it. So I'm just saying. And that was over some dumb stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Um, and he was just telling her that she carries herself with integrity, and she handles herself well, and he really bigging her up, talking about how good of a woman that she is to him, and he will never leave her, and all that other stuff. And so they made peace with that. And then he says, so since we're done talking about me, let's talk about you. And she said, what about me? Because I know I'm not perfect, but what we got to talk about me for? And then he commenced to tell her that she overreacts, and that he says she overreacts, and she could be a hothead, and she could be a little insecure. And she was like, yeah, I get all that, but me insecure? What do you mean, me insecure? And he was like, well, that's just what I see. And I mean, I could see that too, Fatima, because you do be. I mean, I know when y'all really first got into it, you always used to talk about don't be cheating on me, don't mess up on me. Who you talking to? You get mad over pictures. Y'all never really talked it out. Like it was just you see something and you just I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you instantly get upset or whatever without really hearing what he had to say or whatever. So anyway, but I guess that's due to the fact that, like she said, the people that she really loved, they end up leaving her straying at the altar and all that stuff. But she affirms him. She is just like, you know what, you a good man and all that stuff and all that, you know. But they end up canoodling a little bit more, and you know, they end up having a little get it in session, which was cool. Now back over at Tony's, he is it's at the end of his day. He looks like he's wrapping up. He's getting ready to leave because mind you, he will come in at different hours of the day, I guess, to deter people from coming in, because I guess you feel like if somebody feels like I'm here, then they just won't come into my place. But this dude came in anyway, even though the lights were on. And so when he came in, you could see that Tony instantly got his piece. And he just kind of turned around, and the dude was like, yeah, you know what it is. And he was like, man, you sure you want to do this? And the dude actually took his, I was going to take a picture of that, but he actually took off his hoodie. And so it almost made me feel like, I'm like, Tony, do you know him? Like, do you really know him? And the dude was like, you know what it is, just go ahead and give me the goods, just go ahead and give it up or whatever. And he was just like, no. And then it just ended up being a pow, 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 pow. So I'm just like, Tony, are you here? Is Tony still here? Like, is Tony unalive? Is he hurt? Is he what? But you know, it went off. So anyway, y'all, that's pretty much what it is for Zatima. Yes, yes, yes. Just let me know what y'all think. I know I probably forgot a lot of things, but like I told you, this is not like a review. It's like an overview of what went on this episode of Zatima. Y'all, please again, please leave your comments down at the bottom. And do y'all think that Tony is unalive? Do you think that he's hurt? Do you think he unalive this guy here? Um, do you think that Jeremiah is really going to get help? Like, do you really think that? Because you know, old habits die hard. So, do you really think that he's going to get help? And do you think that the relationship? Well, I hope. Do y'all think that the relationship between Jeremiah and Zach is going to bond even closer? But anyway, just let me know what y'all think. Please don't hesitate to like. There we go. Like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all have a great day. Bye. Look at me trying to find it. Chair, hold on. Look, I'm trying to click out of here. Hold on, here we go. Where did the thing at? Chair, look, I'm trying to be cute. Bye.